Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 80 Super44. So today, guys, we're doing our MLS review. The match day will all start with the Concacaf Champions Cup quarterfinal first leg. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started, man. So let's start with the first coverage card here. Is Columbus Crew. DC United won. Columbus Crew, man, they get a late goal there. Obviously, Cucho Hernandez gets sent off there in the 75th minute, and DC United takes the lead. Benteke scores, and it was Columbus Crew. They were going to lose at home. Then they scored a very late equalizer through Morris. And I think for Columbus Crew, man, that was a fantastic goal there. Very nice goal there. For Columbus, man, they showed up in the second half, and for DC United, they weren't really that great in the second half. But yeah, I mean, I think for Columbus, man, this is a huge point at home. And yeah, as I said, man, kind of disappointed that they drop points though. But hey, they did come in from a losing position, so you have to give them that. So moving on, we got Cincinnati 1, New York Red Bulls 2. So Cincinnati, man, New York Red Bulls, man, gets an away win in Cincinnati, which is actually impressive. Looking at the game right here, obviously, Amaya scored the 19. Kuba actually scored the third minute of the game. You're thinking, okay, Cincinnati's going to walk through, right? And then Amaya scores the 19th minute, the 60th minute, 45th minute before halftime. Lewis Morgan misses the penalty. And then in the second half, then Zier scores a goal to make it 2-1, and that's how the game finishes, man. So for Cincinnati, man, I thought they were really disappointed on the day. They weren't great, and for New York Red Bulls, man, this is a huge win on the road against Cincinnati, and this is massive, man, massive 3 points. Next up, it is Inter Miami 2, Colorado Rapids 2. Colorado Rapids took the lead in this game through a penalty before halftime. A very clumsy mistake there. Who gave away the penalty there? I think was it let's see if I can find who gave away the penalty. Let's see the ticker. Yeah, clumsy challenge of Sailor. Sailor gives away a penalty. Then obviously when Messi came on, he scored immediately. 58th minute. Obviously, he's coming from a long-term injury. Then the 60th minute, Alfonso scores, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, surely they're going to do this, right? Messi finds Ruiz inside the penalty. A fullback unselfishly passes a square pass, face a goal for Alfonso to make it 2-1, and David Ruiz gets assist there. And then obviously in stoppage and then late drama there, man, Colorado Rapids scores a nice goal there. Cole Bassett. And yeah, for Inter Miami, man, they're just defensively are terrible. They're not great defensively. And for Inter Miami, man, very disappointing to throw away this game, considering that they were at home for this game and Colorado Rapids weren't really that great. But yeah, I mean, Colorado Rapids on the counterattack causing issues. But yeah, for Inter Miami, man, they need to improve, man. They need to improve. New England won, Charlotte 0. As a Charlotte fan, New England were the better team. They honestly deserved the win. I think Charlotte, for me, were really not the great on the day. You know, Oscar Gill scored a nice goal there before halftime. And yeah, I think for Charlotte, man, we didn't really do much in this game. The first half, second half, we did kind of show things up a bit. Obviously, New England were pretty defensive second half, and yeah, we were not able to get the equalizer. Yeah, I think the biggest problem for Charlotte is we just don't have a clinical guy in the final third. We're just not clinical at all, which is a big concern. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next game, guys. I'm just gonna go run through the games, guys. Run through the games. Then we got New York City 1 at Atlanta United 1. That's a good result for Atlanta United on the road. For New York City, man, they took the lead. Rodriguez took the lead, penalty there, and Adira equalizes there. And so yeah, for Atlanta United, man, and for Atlanta United, I thought this is a good point for them. You know, it was a back and forth game. Atlanta United probably were the better team, as you can see. They had more shots on target and more bigger chances created, but ultimately New York City held on, and it's a crucial point for New York City. But yeah, okay, moving on to Vancouver Whitecaps 4, Toronto FC 0. Vancouver Whitecaps, man, Toronto were absolutely got obliterated. Not a good result for Toronto. And for Vancouver, man, I thought they were great on the day. Fantastic. You know, White scoring the goal, Piscot, Garud, and Velsinich. And yeah, man, Toronto were just simply terrible on the day. Not great whatsoever. And you can see how bad Toronto were. 3 shots at target, 7 shots. Vancouver Whitecaps 16 shots, 6 on target. So Vancouver, man, this is a fantastic win. Then LAFC won the El Tráfico, guys. It was a decent game. LA Galaxy did try their best in the second half. They tried to almost score the goal, but they were not able to do so. With this, man, LA Galaxy have finally lost a game, and LAFC, man, Tillman scored a nice goal, and then Andre scored an equalizer. Ade scored the equalizer, and then Bongaya scored a penalty. And yeah, for the second half, man, LA Galaxy were the much better team. LA Galaxy created more. Um, they had more possession, but they weren't able to get more shots on target. And LA Galaxy created some great chances, but they were not able to find the third goal. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty interesting game. And for LAFC, man, this is a massive win, man, massive win at home for them. And it was a good watch, man, good watch. Then Austin 4, San Jose Earthquakes 3. What a game this was, man. Austin does score a late winner there. The 90th plus 11th minute, Dreesy scoring the game winner was insane. So San Jose took the lead. Then Austin then equalized. Sorry, San Jose made it 2-0. Then Austin scored 3 goals. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, they have completed the turnaround. Then Pellegrino scores the equalizer coming from, obviously, Bodo Glimt. Then Austin scored a late winner there, Dreesy, in the 11th minute of the game. So what a win this is for Austin and for San Jose Earthquakes, man. Very disappointing for them. They were not great in the game. They were their defense. They conceded too much. Well, the momentum got to them, and yeah, for Austin, man, it's a huge home win. The next up is Chicago Fire 2, Houston Dynamo 1. Man, Chicago Fire gets a big win at home against Houston Dynamo. Chicago Fire did take the lead. Shaqiri scored the penalty there. Louis scored the equalizer there, and then obviously Gutierrez scored the second goal. And yeah, for Houston Dynamo, man, just not a good result for them. And for Chicago Fire, man, this is huge. Then Minnesota won, Real Salt Lake won. There's not really a whole lot to talk about this game. It was a pretty game. Obviously, Real Salt Lake took the lead there on go. And then Minnesota United go down to 10 men there. Their left back gets a red card. And let me see when the red card was given. It was actually given after the goal was scored. 10-0, the Rosales get a red card. And then, yeah, St. Clair, man of the match. He made a lot of big saves today to prevent it from being ugly. And yeah, it keeps a good point, man. And the Nashville won, Philadelphia Union 2, man. This is a huge win for Philadelphia on the road against Nashville. Nashville lose at home. Nashville pretty defensive, typically speaking, and for Philadelphia, man, this is a huge win away. You know, Carreza scored the goal. Gazdag, having to come from behind, and then obviously Stewart. So, yeah, I'm not too surprised that Nashville didn't do so well. They were not great in the second half, as you can see. They kind of did this against Charlotte. They went pretty defensive. And yeah, man, for Philadelphia, man, they took full advantage, and they get a crucial win. Then we got St. Louis City, Dallas. There's not really a whole lot to talk about this game, guys. It was a pretty much a nothing game. Not a whole lot to say. 0-0 is the final result. Let's just look at the player ratings and let's see the stats real quick. So stats wise, it was pretty much as St. Louis actually dominated, 27 shots, 7 on target. Dallas were holding on. Baez was man of the match, made a lot of big saves, 7 saves in particular. Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, for Dallas, man, not very a good result for Dallas, I suppose. They're away team, and for St. Louis, man, very disappointing for them to not win at home. And then moving on to the final game we got, penultimate game we got here, Seattle Sounders 5, Montreal 0. Oh my geez, Montreal were so bad in the day. Seattle just were so amazing. And yeah, Montreal were just abysmal. They didn't look great whatsoever. Some of these players have to be questioned. And for Montreal, man, this is just terrible. Absolutely terrible for them. And, they got a red card in the 53rd minute. And it was already getting bad. So yeah, for Seattle Sounders, man, very good win for them. Very dominant win. And for Montreal, man, very disappointing for them. And yeah, very bad. Let's quickly run through the goal scorers, man. So the first goal was scored by Rudiz, scored a brace, then Morris, then Roldan, and then Tevez. So 5-0 win for Seattle Sounders. Seattle Sounders a real deal because, by the way, I believe they're the only team that haven't lost MLS. Every other team in MLS has lost. Then moving on to the final game we got here, Sporting Kansas City 3, Portland Timbers 3. What a game this was, man. Back and forth game. Insane game, man. Sporting Kansas City there. Agata scored the goal there. Crappo made a mistake. And then Razar scored the second goal, 38th minute, and the 45th minute. As Sporting Kansas were 3-0 up, and I'm like, oh my geez, they've already won this game, right? Then they missed a penalty in the 61st minute, and then Ferreira scores a penalty there in the 64th, and more than come on Miller, man. Miller there with the goal there. So yeah, their left back, not their center back. And yeah, Crepo, man, made a mistake for one of the goals. but ultimately it doesn't matter. And as Portland Timbers actually did the remarkable 3-goal comeback, man, wow, absolutely insane. Sporting Kansas, I don't know what they did in the second half. I guess they got too complacent, and yeah, very very big result for Portland Timbers, man, to come from a 3-0 deficit. So let's look at the Eastern Division standings real quickly. Let's look at this. So New York Red Bulls, as you can see, are actually top of the league. Philadelphia second, Inter Miami third, Columbus fourth, and Cincinnati at 6, Atalanta 6, 7, Toronto 8, DC United 9, Charlotte. So Charlotte is still in the playoffs. Chicago, Montreal, Nashville, New York City FC, Orlando. Orlando's doing so bad. They need to pick things up. And New England, man, not very good. Moving into the Western Conference, we got here. So Vancouver's doing well. El Galaxy, Salt Lake, Minnesota, LAFC, Sporting Kansas, Austin, Colorado, Portland, St. Louis, and Seattle. Wait, which club haven't lost a game? Oh, sorry, it's Philadelphia. Philadelphia hasn't lost a game, not Seattle. Philadelphia's the only team haven't lost a game yet in MLS. My bad, Seattle have. So yeah, man, that's a quick rundown of MLS. Let's go ahead and look at the Concacaf Champions Cup real quickly. Real quickly here, guys. Real quickly, the Concacaf Champions Cup. I'm going to keep this very, very brief here. And also give second leg predictions as well, I suppose. So knockouts. Let's start with the first game we got here. It is Columbus 1, Tigres 1. I thought Columbus were actually good in this game. I thought they actually played well at home. You know, Tigres weren't really that great in the first half. First half, it was all Columbus. Tigres scored a nice goal there. Giganik scored the goal, and then the second half, man. They finally, the Rossi scored the 43rd minute, and the second half, man, it was a back and forth game. You know, Tigres actually dominated with 8 shots, 4 on target. And yeah, man. But you know, the funny thing is, when they went down to 10 men, Morris got a red card. I actually feel like Columbus did better. So Columbus now have to travel away to the second leg and try to get a result. Remember, they have to win. They have to win because away goals do count. So if it finishes 0-0, Tigres will advance in away goals. Linus got the assist, by the way, for the Gignac goal. So for the second leg, you know what, guys? I think Columbus can do it. I think the second leg away in Tigres, I think Columbus will do us on penalties. I'm going to say 0-0, goes to penalties, and I think Columbus will pull it off. No, actually 1-1. 1-1, should I say. I was going to say 1-1. But yeah, Columbus really need to get Cucho Hernandez needs to play the second leg, because I believe he did not play the first leg, and you could see how much. So I believe he was, I don't know why he wasn't available. Maybe they had a disciplinary thing, but yeah, he wasn't available. And yeah, can Columbus crew do it, man? I'm not so sure, but I hope they can. Then we're going to talk about New England Revolution 0, Club America 4. This was absolutely disgraceful from New England Revolution to lose 4-0 at home. Club America, man, they're pretty much through to the next round. Martin scored the goal. Zendejas, Cardon, Rodriguez, and yeah, this was just disgraceful and embarrassing for New England Revolution. Because I understand it's one thing to lose a Mexican team at home. It's one thing, but you can't get destroyed at home. You know, that's another thing, you know. And so for New England Revolution, man, they're pretty much out. They're pretty much out of the Concacaf Champions Cup. They do have the second leg away. Maybe they can muster up a draw, but really doesn't matter. I don't see them winning. And even if they do win, they're not going to win by a 4-0 margin. So, yeah, I think it's over pretty much. I think I'm going to save the last one for next. And so then we have Club Sport Herdano versus Pachuca. Pachuca won 5-0 away against Club Sport Herdano. Yeah, this is also pretty much a tie that's also done. And Club Sport Herdano, man, they're pretty much out. I feel really bad for them, the Costa Rican club. They put up their best, but ultimately just don't have enough. They just don't have enough to compete with Pachuca. Pachuca were just too good in the day. And you can see why they're Don, Idrisse, Gonzalez getting the goals, respectively. But yeah, I mean, it was just a one-sided, man. It was one-sided. And if you actually look at the stats, Club Sport Herdano were actually not too bad. 7 shots, 5 on target, but it's just that they just weren't able to score, and whereas other teams were clinical. So that's the thing. And the Inter Miami won, Monterrey 2. I thought Inter Miami were great defensively on the day. They were fantastic. You know, Avili scored that nice goal in the 19th minute. But then I just feel like the red card. The red card for me from Ruiz was a really, really silly error. Silly red card. Then you could see Monterrey really started to pick things up. You know, Meza scored a goal there from the corner. Then Rodriguez scored an absolute banger. And yeah, for Monterrey, man, they were the better team. I think for Inter Miami, they were not great on the day. And I just think that for me, Monterrey really were amazing. And I think they deserve the win. And I think for Inter Miami, can they do a comeback the second leg? Messi is available. By the way, he did play over the weekend. So I think Messi is going to be rested. And I think Busquets was also rested as well. You know, came on the second half. So I think if Busquets and Messi can start, then I think Inter Miami can do this. But for Inter Miami, man, they have to score the first goal. because remember, for Inter Miami, they have to win 2-0 because 1-0 is not going to be enough because Monterrey scored 2 away goals. So Inter Miami have to score at least 2 goals to do this. And remember, they have to win by a 2-goal deficit. So can they do it? I think they still can. And we'll see what happens, man. So I'll be here, obviously, next Sunday, guys, to recap the MLS and, of course, the Concacaf Champions Cup. Also talk about the quarterfinal review, and then maybe we'll look at, and then we'll do that, man. So hope you guys enjoy. So please don't like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.